I'd like to correct the previous statement that I made in the last video right before I left. I said I enjoyed being blacked out drunk. I don't think that that's something that you enjoy. That's just something that you do to cope with whatever situation you think you're in. So, if you have an addiction of any kind, or you just have a compulsion, you have a chronic habit that you know is not very good for you, know that there's a reason for that. Like, people don't just compulsively do things. At least I don't think they do. I've had enough experience with this. I smell weed. In a grocery store parking lot? What? That used to be me. Which is the worst place to get high, because then you'll spend way too much money in that grocery store. But anyway, yeah, I haven't met anybody that has a compulsion without some sort of underlying reason, you know? So for me, it's like my brain is just very obsessive. And so a substance was a good thing for me to obsess about, and then I could just create problems based off of that, you know? So I didn't have to think about anything else. I mean, I still did, but I was drunk. So... I think that a lot of people have a compulsion because of childhood trauma. But it's also boredom. Boredom is probably the best reason to get lost in something, you know? And that is a huge reason why people are so addicted to the internet. Because the internet is like 25 drug dealers. People don't want to hear that. They do not want to hear that. I mean, when I was at this meeting, I just couldn't help but notice how many people at some point during the meeting had to get on their phone. So now I'm not judging them like, oh, they're terrible, what's the point in them being sober when they're doing that? No, I mean, when I was sober originally, I was still compulsively spending money. I was chain smoking. I was drinking 2 pots of coffee a day. I was drinking ridiculous amounts of Red Bull, okay? I know I've talked about this before, but just because you give up one thing, if you don't realize what the underlying reason is for that compulsion, the problem isn't going to go away. I mean, the specific problem in relation to the substance or that particular compulsion, that might go away, but you still have that issue. So I don't know. I don't know what people can do about this technology shit. Especially when, like, so much of your life revolves around it. You know? If you want to interact with people, if you want to be in the know. Like today, this coworker of mine comes up to me and tells me about Taylor Swift's engagement to some football player It's like, I don't give a fuck about this. Why do you give a fuck about this? Well, this is why I say women are followers. Because they give a fuck about who Taylor Swift is marrying. You know? It's fucking crazy. But yeah, it's just... people of the world get swept away by the actors, the players. I call them the players of the world. Taylor Swift is most definitely a player, considering how much money she has, considering how famous she is, and how much people obsess about her. Her fans treat her like she's some kind of god. I mean, she has some kind of talent. She's pretty, whatever. But so what? It's crazy to me that people like idol worship somebody just because they can play an instrument or they can sing or they can get on stage and dance or some shit. That's so crazy to me. I mean, when I was a kid, I was obsessed with Mariah Carey. But I don't think I would freak out if I had met her, you know? Like, if she was, like, walking in the grocery store, I wouldn't have been like, oh my god, it's Mariah Carey. You know? It's like, oh, she likes apples, huh? Of course she does. Of course she does. She's trying to tempt us. Yeah, she's beautiful, though. Holy shit. She's so beautiful. My hair looks like shit, but at least it still smells good. Well, it kind of looks cool now because it's like poofy. But anyway, yeah, I don't idolize people. I don't idolize places. I don't idolize things. Like, that's never been my relationship with anything or anyone. Like, my relationship with marijuana was a friendship. A very, very close friendship. And so, you know, when people would tell me, oh, it's an addiction, it's a really bad habit, and or they'd say it's a crutch or whatever, it's like, I just assumed that they had no idea. They had no idea what I was going through. Because this thing was my friend. And I actually do believe that about plants, though. I know that sounds like some weird hippied out shit, but it's like, plants are our friends. Like, they're here to help us. But if you use them too much, like, they'll do the opposite. So, if you're lonely, and if you feel, like, totally separated from the society that you live in, then yeah, a plant is probably gonna be closer to you. Like, you're gonna feel more of a connection to that. Because if you develop a stronger relationship with yourself because of that plant, then, I mean, I really don't see the problem with that. Unless, of course, it turns into a compulsion and you have to rationalize it and you end up in a mental institution or something like that, you know? That's bad. But I don't know. In a lot of ways, I feel like I'm the bridge. I'm the bridge to help people have a clear understanding of why they do the things that they do and why they're attached to the things that they're attached to. And it's okay to have that attachment, and it's okay to have some sort of coping mechanism because of things that you've experienced in your past that you didn't know how to deal with. We need to have compassion rather than, you know, judgment, guilt, and shame and all that bullshit.